Hey Commanders fans, welcome back to the channel. The Washington Commanders are on a mission to perfect their roster and take that next step toward a Super Bowl run. With Dan Quinn at the helm and Jayden Daniels proving to be one of the brightest young quarterbacks in the league, the Commanders are making all the right moves to build a powerhouse in the NFC. Before we dive into today's major updates, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps the channel grow and keeps you up to date with everything Commanders. Now, let's get into it. Washington had an incredible offseason, adding game changers like Deebo Samuel and Laremy Tunsil. But there's still one glaring need: the pass rush. With Dante Fowler Jr. leaving for the Dallas Cowboys, the Commanders must find a replacement to maintain their defensive dominance. And according to analysts from The Score, veteran pass rusher Za'Darius Smith could be the perfect fit. Smith, despite being 32 years old, remains a highly productive edge rusher. Splitting time between the Cleveland Browns and Detroit Lions last season, he racked up an impressive 9.5 sacks. That level of production is exactly what Washington needs to maintain a fearsome defensive front. Bringing in Smith would not only provide an immediate boost to the pass rush, but also add veteran leadership to a defense that is looking to impose its will in 2025. Dan Quinn's defensive philosophy relies heavily on generating pressure from the front four, and right now, Washington lacks an elite go-to edge rusher. Frankie Louvu has been great in blitz packages, and Dorance Armstrong Jr. is solid, but neither is a proven double-digit sack machine. That's where Smith comes in. If Washington can bring him in before the draft, it would allow Adam Peters and the front office to use their limited draft picks elsewhere to continue strengthening the roster. What do you guys think? Would you like to see Za'Darius Smith in the burgundy and gold? Let us know in the comments. After a phenomenal 12-5 season and a deep playoff run, expectations for the Commanders are sky high, heading into 2025. But not everyone is convinced Washington will replicate last year's success. ESPN's Mike Clay has projected the Commanders to finish with just 8.5 wins this season, a significant drop from their 12-win campaign. Now, let's be real, the NFL is unpredictable. Just because a team is great one year doesn't mean they'll be elite the next. But 8.5 wins? That seems a little too low, don't you think? Especially when you consider that Washington has only gotten better this offseason. With key additions like Deebo Samuel, Laremy Tunsil, and Marshawn Lattimore, this team has the firepower to compete with anyone. That being said, Washington does face a brutal schedule. The Commanders will go up against powerhouses like the Philadelphia Eagles, Dallas Cowboys twice, Green Bay Packers, Kansas City Chiefs, Miami Dolphins, and Detroit Lions. No game in the NFL is easy, and Washington will have to be at their best every week. The biggest challenge for the Commanders? The fact that they're no longer a surprise. Last season, no one expected Jayden Daniels to take the league by storm the way he did. Now, every defensive coordinator in the NFL is studying his tape, looking for ways to slow him down. Daniels will need to take another step forward in year 2 to keep Washington in contention. But what do you guys think? Are the Commanders really going to regress in 2025? Or is this just another case of the national media underestimating Washington? Drop your thoughts in the comments. The Washington Commanders made significant roster changes last season, bringing in a host of veteran players on one-year deals. This strategic move helped the team make a deep playoff run, but not every veteran returned for another season in Washington. Despite that, veterans are still expected to play a key role for the Commanders in 2025, according to The Athletic's Ben Standig. Standig notes that Washington's recent draft history hasn't produced long-term foundational pieces, leaving the team reliant on experienced players to maintain stability and leadership. Of Washington's 33 draft selections from 2020 to 2023, only 8 remain with the organization, and just 5 are starters or rotational players, Standig writes. He highlights how Washington addressed this issue by signing seasoned veterans like Bobby Wagner, Zach Ertz, Marcus Mariota, and Austin Ekeler. More recent additions, including Jonathan Jones and Deatrick Wise Jr., are expected to continue shaping the team's culture and performance on the field. For a franchise that has long struggled with consistency, bringing in veterans who have been there, done, that could be a smart move. These experienced players not only offer leadership in the locker room, but also serve as mentors for younger talent as the team transitions into a new era. Even though the Commanders boast a solid veteran presence, the upcoming 2025 NFL Draft will be crucial for injecting young talent into the roster. Washington is set to make its picks from April 24-26 at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and insiders believe the team will focus heavily on defensive ends. The Commanders' pass rush was a question mark in 2024, especially after the departure of Dante Fowler Jr. to the Dallas Cowboys. This has led many analysts, including Standig, to predict that General Manager Adam Peters will use the number 29 or number 61 pick on a defensive end. Washington will likely take advantage of a strong defensive end draft class at pick number 29 or 61. Standig writes, "At least that's a reasonable assumption, unless the front office goes with a combination of a cornerback, receiver, or the best player available." While Peters has done an excellent job covering all bases in free agency, the draft remains an opportunity to add young, impact players who can develop into long-term starters. Given that the Commanders have only 5 total picks in this draft, maximizing those selections will be crucial. Washington's front office has done a commendable job ensuring that the team remains competitive by blending veteran leadership with young talent. Bringing in proven players like Deebo Samuel and Laramie Tunsil via trade was a major statement of intent, but the key to sustained success will be developing homegrown talent as well. Veterans like Wagner and Ertz provide short-term stability, but the franchise needs its young core to step up and eventually take the reins. While it's essential to win now, the Commanders also need to be thinking about the long game, ensuring that their 25 draft picks have a pathway to meaningful roles in the future. As the NFL Draft approaches, all eyes are on Adam Peters and his strategy for building the next phase of this team. With Jayden Daniels leading the offense and key veterans holding down leadership roles, Washington has positioned itself well to be a contender once again. The biggest question remains: can the Commanders strike the perfect balance between experienced veterans and young talent? Only time will tell, but the early signs are promising. Washington is in a prime position to be a serious contender again this season. The front office is making smart moves. The coaching staff is one of the best in the league, and Jayden Daniels is the real deal. The addition of Za'Darius Smith could be the final piece that solidifies this defense, and if Daniels continues his upward trajectory, the Commanders are going to be a nightmare for the rest of the NFC. But as always, I want to hear from you. Guys, do you think Za'Darius Smith is the right fit? Will the Commanders take a step back, or are they poised to shock the league again? Let me know in the comments. And before you go, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on your Washington Commanders. We've got a massive season ahead, and you won't want to miss a second of the action. Until next time, hail to the Commanders.